Nice. Cool.
Going to tweet it. Tweet it, tweet it, tweet it.
Go spread the word. Make some noise.
Hallo.
Hi.
Hi. Da sollen doch ganz viele kommen. Wo sind die?
Nice. Cool.
Hey Dev, hey Robin. Santosh here.
Hi. Make some noise.
Hey, hi.
Do you hear all live your own live stream?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh wait, I have to mute my session, I guess.
Wo sind die?
Oh, so I muted my YouTube. I think it's better. Okay. Yeah, nice. Let everyone join. Oh yeah. Oh, I have to wear my brand.
And the sunglasses.
Oh, wait. Hi, Santosh.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you live.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Okay, I have to go in the NGD meeting. Yeah, I try to join you later. Have fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Oh, what's up? We have some trouble. Some people are trying to join, but they are not able to. Trying to build up connection. Okay, yeah, we're waiting for one of the speaker. So meeting password is, all right, copy and paste. Ah, yeah. Okay, nice. There are next people. Oh, yeah. So there is somewhere there should be Tobias. Oh, wow. So there is no option on aligning the attendees that I can see everyone. So yeah. Oh, wow. This looks nice. Yeah. Maya. Nice. So I'm very happy that we have that much attendees here. Let me check the chat. And okay, my phone is going crazy because of all the notifications. Oh yeah. So I guess that you can hear me. Otherwise, I assume that I will see some mentions in the Slack that you can't hear me, but it seems okay.
I can.
Nice. So we are about 50 attendees. Nice, nice. And YouTube. I don't know how many. Oh, is there no? Okay. Nice. I'm very happy that this takes place finally. Finally. Yeah. And so where can I see the waiting room? I don't know. Okay, I hope every one of you is fine and every one of you is safe. So these are the most important things we have to think about, that everyone is safe and fine and is okay in this situation. I know this is a very special situation. So for me, for example, is it's very, very strange because office all the time, so that is nothing new. But now I also have to homeschooling some kids, and yeah, this is strange, and this is hard to handle all this stuff at one time. So this is even more because of this. I'm very happy that we made it to start this meetup again, and this is, I guess, this is the second edition in 2020, isn't it, or is it the first? I'm not sure yet. Maybe it's the first. Yeah, we have a lot of, we have three awesome speakers. The first one will be Tobias. We thought it will be another speaker, but he is sick. And so Tobias jumped in. He's one of his colleagues, and he will introduce himself. So I think there will be no, so you will be get him know in a few seconds. So let me check. Can I? So I stopped sharing my screen, and now you should see me in full screen. This could be a bit frightened, but it's okay. So first talk is about, forgot the topic. It's so confusing, so exciting.
Angular at scale.
Angular at scale. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. So I think we can start. Oh wait, there are still some people waiting. So okay, I will take care about the waiting list. Okay, let's start with the first talk. It's by Tobias Brenner about Angular in scale, and yeah, go on and introduce yourself and tell us something very exciting about Angular. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I switched to the web client because the other one didn't let me in. So unfortunately, I have to go in my MacBook settings to enable the screen sharing thingy. So if it's possible to switch to the other talk first, or to wait 2 additional minutes, I have to do the settings here to enable screen sharing in the web client.
Okay, then we have some speakers in the line. So Santosh, you're still here?
Yes, I was just on mute.
So then you are the first speaker, if you are ready.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I can go ahead.
Okay, then have fun and
Let me just tweet about it.
yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so can you see my screen? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
We see everything perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So let me start. So excited to be here. Thank you, Dev, to have me on this meetup. So I'll be talking about what's new in Angular. So I think everyone is already excited about what's happening in Angular world. Ivy is here, and we are excited about the upcoming versions, Angular 10 and 11. So I'll give you a small idea about what's going to be there in Angular 10 and 11. They are not finalized yet, but we may see those awesome things in Angular 10 and 11. So let's get started. So just to introduce myself, my name is Santosh Yadav, and I'm one of the GD, Google Developer Expert, as Dev is, and it's an amazing community. So, and also I have some open source projects on GitHub. I'm also creator of one of the builders, which is ng-deploy, and recently I created another builder, which is for analyzing your bundle. So ng analyze something. I have created that as well. In case you are interested, you can just drop me a message on Twitter. So Santosh Yadav Dev, it's my Twitter handle, and you can feel free to connect. And in case you have any questions, so V9, yes. So everyone is excited about V9. So let's see what's there, right? So IV, of course, IV is here. So what IV means? So we have no more factories, locality, instruction based. But what are those? So I prefer showing it via code. So let's jump into the VS Code then, and let's see what I mean by them. Okay, so I have created a small app. It's just getting started, and hello Hamburg. So let me show you the page. It's pretty what you can say, pretty straightforward. So I have one page with some title, and let me just do it. Yep. So I'll just open it below. So console is available for you to see. So what we mean by those? So in case you have been working in Angular from a long time, right? Angular 4, 5, and there are many changes which has happened over the years. One change which we just said, right? So we said no more factories. What are those factories? So earlier, when you used to run Angular in your dev mode, right? So you used to see something called ng here, and it had a lot of factory files. So for every module, every component, there were some factory file, factory.js. Now they are removed. So they are not available, and it improves your build time. So in case you are working on Angular 9 or you migrated your existing project on Angular 9, you might have noticed your builds are faster. The reason being no more factories. So the second advantage you should get using IV is locality. So this is something really amazing. I mean, in case you don't know what locality means, earlier to compile one component, the component has to have idea about itself and its dependencies. What do you mean by dependencies? In case I'm using another component 2, and even services. So the component has to keep track of everything. Now it's no more required. Every component in it's by itself, it knows how to compile myself, and that's the locality principle. And what's the advantage? What's the advantage of locality principle? The better error logging. So in case if anyone who is using Angular 9 recently, there was an very one error which I used to think why it's not available at build time, why we get it at runtime. So simple thing. I mean, in case you already worked in Angular 9, you know how to create a component, right? And once you create a component, what happens? If you are using Angular CLI, it gets registered into your module. And what in case you miss it? So you get a runtime error saying, okay, this particular component is not available, and it's irritating, right? I mean, why should I get that at runtime? With IV and the locality principle, you can get that error at build time. That's amazing, right? I mean, you don't have to go ahead and open your console and see why I'm getting a blank page. You get it in your console and just click the file, and you just come to know, okay, this is the error which I was getting. So another amazing thing, and instruction based. So what do you mean by instruction based? What was then it was earlier? So earlier we used to create a lot of JS files, and then we used to keep track of each and every file, that how it should be compiled. But in instruction based, it generates some instructions. So let me just show you quickly where those instructions are. They are available here in your console, and for that I have to just add a breakpoint. So let me just open the TS file, and I'll add a breakpoint so you can see those instructions which are generated. Okay. Yep. If you can see my screen, and these are the instructions. So you can see theta factory, theta component, these are and decorators. So every component knows about itself, and that's what locality principle was. And these are the different instruction sets which are generated using IV. So another amazing feature, because this theta factory and theta component, these are amazing APIs, and they may be available as public API. Not sure about it, but in future they may be, and they have amazing use cases. I just don't want to talk about them right now because I'm not sure if they are going to be made public. But yes, they have amazing use cases. Like one of the use case I will tell you is higher order component, which can be achieved using theta component. Recently at NG India, one of the GD called Pankaj Parkar, he gave a really good use case. So once recordings are available for NG India, just watch his talk. It was really amazing. So, okay, so this is what we mean by instruction based. And then let's move. What Ivy also focuses on ease of update. So it makes your update really easy as compared to the earlier versions. Of course, due to Ivy, we have reduced bundle size. Now it has reduced. I mean, we have already seen a lot of people, a lot of devs tweeting about it, right? I mean, my bundle size was reduced by 25 to 40%. Some people experience more depending on what their application does and how much tree shaking they have done, or how much lazy loaded modules they have. So in case you have a lot of lazy loaded modules, you will see a larger impact on the bundle size. Recently, I upgraded my own application from Angular 8 to Angular 9. Let me tell you, due to the recent changes, the update was really smooth. I could see I was able to update the entire application in like 30 minutes. Then I have to just test it manually if something is broken. But everything was perfect, and I was able to reduce my bundle size around 40%. So it fits into our criteria, right? We are saying 25 to 40%. So that was like a good thing to do. And there are some tweets from amazing people from the community. So recently, one of the developer called Elvir, who updated his application from Angular from previous version to Angular 9. Now his app size is decreased by 11 MB. So 25 MB to 14 MBs. That's amazing. And similarly, if you see lazy loaded modules, they have larger impact. So 900 KB to 500 KB, and main bundle size was increased, but that's maybe something due to his own application. But yep. So another message from Reddit, where one of the user updated his application from Angular 8 to Angular 9, and his bundle size reduced from 973 KB to 669 KB. So this is an application which is gzipped. So of course, I mean, if you gzip your application, you will see a less bundle size, right? So then we have faster unit test. I'm not sure how many people have written unit test. I think Dev is going to talk about Cypress, so that will be an interesting talk to see. So we have faster unit tests, and this is something which I have experienced. So before, I have two versions. So in my current organization, we are developing Angular 8, which we need to migrate somehow to Angular 9, which is ready. And if I run the test in Angular 8, it works really slow. But if I do the same in Angular 9 branch, it works like zoom, and everything is done. So that's an amazing improvement which we have related to test as well. And the reason being, it will not recompile between tests, and that's a good thing to do. Debugging. So debugging is another thing which is improved with Ivy. Remember, not all APIs of Ivy are public, but still there are a lot of APIs, hidden APIs, which is amazing, and we can just go ahead and see that. So I'll show you another demo to how to do a debugging in Angular 9 app, right? So let me show you two things. So I'll go ahead first, and of course this is live coding. So I'll show you three things: how to use ng debugging API, then how to use template debugging. I mean, template debugging is something which I use. I mean, I used to think why I cannot debug the template. I mean, I have been coding in Angular from Angular 4, and it was really frustrating experience that I have to just go ahead and write this interpolation syntax and then JSON pipe in case I have a complex object to see what object I'm getting. But with template debugging API, I mean, template debugging feature, it makes our life really easier. So I love this feature a lot. So I'll just go ahead and add a breakpoint here on my template, as well as I have my TS file, which is still here. Okay, so I'll show you both of the feature. Let's first see template one. So I'll just refresh the page so I can trigger the breakpoint. Okay, so right now it's on TS file. I want to show you this. So here you can actually use, once you have added a breakpoint in your HTML, you can just use CTX, which is for context. And now you can actually see everything which is available inside your component. So right now I have a title property. So I can see its value, right? Earlier it was not available. So what we used to do is write title and then see its value, what's coming, or write JSON, pipe JSON to see the actual value of a template. So this is another good feature which we have here, template debugging. Then I'll show you ng debugging, and of course HTML breakpoint is part of your template debugging. You can add a breakpoint in your template, which is available now. It was not available earlier as well. So I'll show you the ng debugging API, and to do that, we have to follow some steps. So first you have to select the element which you want to debug. For example, right now I just have a single element, which is the app root. So, okay, I have selected this element. Here, I'll just take a reference to this element. So I'll create a variable. I will call it as app equals to. You can use ng. Now it is available. It is not available in production mode, but it is available in your dev mode. Then you can say get component. And here you can pass $0. And now you get the access to app component. So you can see you have app component available. Now, if in case you want to trigger some function or you want to just change some values from your console to see if it's getting reflected or not, it's possible. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll say app.title is equals to hello India, right? And now, of course, the values are not updated. So what you have to do is you have to call ng.apply changes. And then you have to just pass the component here. So which is the instance of component called app. And you can see your value is updated on console, which is hello India. So this is amazing because you don't have to go ahead and apply a breakpoint, or you just don't have to debug everything to see if your change detection is not called, why it is not called, or why the values are not getting updated. Just do it everything on your console and your life will be much easier, right? As a developer, we always think about we should be able to do things faster, and this is what it enables. Improved TypeScript checking. So this is something which is team was working from Angular 8 onwards, and then they added some strict checks. Right now, full template type check, which was already available. Now they have a new option called strict templates. And the advantage being, I don't have any demo to show you, but just to tell you, the advantage is in case you are using ngif or ngfor directive, earlier, those used to be any. In case you have any Angular 8 project, just go ahead and hover above if you are using as template, right? So you can just go ahead and hover above as variable. So it will be any. That was a problem in case you are writing another for loop. You are trying to access some variable inside for loop. Even with ngfor, that issue was there. So now it's with strict templates. In case some values does not exist, you will get an error. So of course, without deploying it on production, because your compiler can check if this particular property exists or not. So another good feature. And then CSS binding. So this is something related to the priority of how the values will be binded. So earlier, there was no sequence. In case I'm using a class, for example, you can see property binding. So I'm using a class using property binding syntax. In another example, I'm applying a class using map binding. And in third, I'm using static values. So earlier there was no sequence, and there a lot of developers used to be confused which one to choose, right? I mean, in case I'm passing class as a property binding and I'm also passing class as a static value, which should be applied. And this is where Ivy makes it easier. So it says, okay, this is the priority. First, property binding, next map binding, and third is static values. So this is how it will work. The same is for directives. In case you are using host property, same will be property binding, map binding, and static values, and same is applied for your components. So don't be confused. Now you know the sequence in which it will be applied, because I recently had this issue in Angular 8 where we were thinking which one is getting applied. Is it property binding? I'm passing a class using property binding. I'm also passing a class using static value, which will be applied first in case both are the same. So now it makes your life easier. You know which one will be used first, right? So again, it will help you to debug issues faster. Build errors, as I've already told you, in case you miss anything, like not registering your component, not registering your services, you will get those values at build time, not at runtime. Similarly, in case you are using Angular material, and if you, let's say, include mat icon, if you include it in your HTML and you are not importing mat icon module, it will again give you error in your console. So you don't have to go ahead and check your browser, blank page, then go to console, what's happening. So no more struggle. Build speed, of course, build speed has been increased by 40%. So now your applications will compile faster. So of course, saving some time. And the ng update, right? So earlier, this is a problem which I have personally faced when I was updating my application from Angular 5 to 7, because there were many things which I had to do manually, and it took me around more than 20 days. And I was really like, okay, is it worth it? But of course, I was able to go through it, and I was able to update my application to Angular 7. And recently, I have updated one application from Angular 8 to Angular 9, which has like 25,000 lines of code, and the update was really smooth. The reason being, now Angular, when you are updating your application from Angular 8 to Angular 9, everything will be done by Angular 9 CLI. So this is what happens. When you run ng update, first, it will check which version of Angular CLI you have. Then it goes and downloads a copy of Angular 9 CLI, not Angular 8 CLI. It downloads the copy of Angular 9 CLI and then updates your workspace. So it works really smooth. I have done it. Go ahead and try to update your application to Angular 9. In case you get any errors, you have my Twitter handle available now. You can just connect with me, and I would love to help. Then we have providedin. We have now two more scope providers available. I am sure everyone knows about providedin root. Then you can also pass modules, and that was available to make it recheckable. But there was few issues which was not taken care by the compiler. For example, there was an use case. Let's say I have multiple modules, and there are a few lazy loaded modules. If you remember how lazy loaded modules work, so they work in this way. Like for example, if I click on any URL, at that moment, all the modules or all the files related to that modules will be downloaded. But if you are using any service which is globally available or registered as root, you still get the same instance which is available for everyone. But that should not be the case, right? I mean, in case I'm saying this is lazy loaded, then once the module is loaded, I should get a new instance of that particular service. So of course, that was a very frustrating experience. And then there were workarounds. The first workaround was go ahead and register your service into lazy loaded module using providers property. There was a drawback that service is not recheckable anymore. So of course, there was some give and take. And then another option was to use for root or for child implementation, but you have to write the code. This should be something which should be handled by compiler, not you, right? Now it takes care of that. So you can just say provided in any. Now you have multiple instances available. Every lazy loaded module will have their own instance. For example, if I have 3 lazy loaded module and I'm using let's say a login service. So login service will be initialized 3 times for 3 lazy loaded modules, and my entire app will have a single instance. So this is how ANI works. Then we have another providedin scope provider called platform, which is a single instance for everyone. So it means in case I have multiple applications, I have not seen that, seen people doing that, but a lot of people do using web elements, right? Web components. So they include multiple applications inside Angular. And in that case, you will be able to share the same instance between your Angular application and another Angular application. But this is something which is already being used by the router service inside Angular. So Angular already uses platform internally. I have not seen any real-time implementation, someone doing that, but just to give you an idea, router service does that. So in case you are using, let's say you open another application, which is an Angular application, using iframe. So your router service will be able to detect the changes in another application. So that's possible. Component harnesses. Recently, there was a blog post written by one of the community member called Lars, which is available on in-depth, where he gave some idea about how to write harness test cases. And this is really great because remember, whenever you used to write test cases in using Jasmine, what we do is we always go ahead and rely on the DOM components, right? We just go ahead and say, okay, this document should have the CSS like this, or element like button, and then we used to select it. But with component harnesses, it is really easy to test your component because you get the actual instance. For example, this is an example which is for mat select. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and ask for the access of mat select component, and then I can go ahead and use or access all the properties and methods of that mat select component. Isn't it awesome, right? Rather than relying on DOM element and saying, okay, this element should exist, I can just go ahead and say, okay, give me this mat button, or just give me this menu bar so I can go ahead and select which menu to access. So all these are available using component harnesses, and it is not supported by most of the test runners right now because they have to implement their own. Currently, it is implemented by Angular material and is available. You can go ahead and use it, but still has some issues. I think last time I was just discussing about it with Lars, and he said for mat button it doesn't work. So which is really strange, but of course those things will be taken care in future. For a long time, we had no new components being added into Angular material. So now there's another good news that we have some new components in Angular material. So we have YouTube player, which is available now. You can go ahead and use the native material YouTube component as well as the Google Map component. Earlier, there were a lot of libraries which were available. Now, Angular component team said, okay, let's go ahead and implement our own. I think one of the community member who already had written the Google Maps component, he actually added this feature. So thanks to him, now you can go ahead and use it internally. We have TypeScript 3.8 support. So of course, in TypeScript 3.8, you have this null collision operator. You can just go ahead and utilize it. Just remember one thing: in case you are using Angular 9.0.0, you will be able to use TypeScript 3.7, and to use TypeScript 3.8, you have to use 9.1.0. So which is already available. You can go ahead and use it. So in case you are still running a 9.0.0 because you may have updated it, you are using TypeScript 3.7. Go ahead and update to 9.1.0. It will not take much time. No breaking changes. The only good thing is TypeScript will be updated to 3.8. So that's from Angular material. And now Universal. So my personal experience, I have never tried Angular Universal. I tried it long back, and it was really complicated. So I have to rely on Webpack file, which was available. So Webpack config.json was available. And in case there are any changes, I have to go ahead and make some changes into Webpack. I'm not that good with Webpack. So, and there was no live reload functionality. It means you make some changes, you have to compile it again, run it again on browser to see the changes. With Angular Universal 9, now it's so simple that it will not feel like that you are not writing an Angular code. So recently I tried it and I posted, I tweeted it on Twitter that it's really amazing, Angular Universal 9. So no Webpack config file available. So if you create a new application using Angular 9 and you are adding Universal, you will not see any configuration file, Webpack configuration file available. And thanks to the amazing API called Angular Builders. So if you are not aware, tomorrow I'm going to talk about Angular Builders in one of the another meetup, Heidelberg. So you can connect again tomorrow to learn about Angular Builders. Also, there are few more builders which are added inside Angular Universal to enable the live reload. So now you can just say ng run dev SSR, I think, and it will work and your live reload will work. So what you have to do is whenever you are making some changes, just save it and it's reloaded again. So amazing, and it works really fast. The another good thing which I liked about Angular Universal is ability to pre-render static pages. So you can now actually use a command called ng-run pre-render, or you can just call it as yarn pre-render, and it will generate your static files, and it uses guest.js in case some of you might have used it with lazy loading. So guest.js is being used to pre-render your routes, and you don't have to rely on any other service. I remember 1 year ago, not more than 1 year ago, I was reading about how to pre-render the pages using an Angular Universal, and I gave up because I had to write a lot of script and a lot of things, a lot of code just to pre-render. So I said, okay, not worth it. So let's move on. And now after a year, it is available as built-in functionality. And in case you want to use pre-render, I would suggest go ahead and try Scully as well, which is static site generator for Angular. And there is, of course, some tweets about Angular Universal. So one of the community members said, okay, the Angular Universal, he updated his website to Angular 9 SSR. And he says, okay, now live reload is there, no Webpack config, and it just serves the your JS bundle. So just import app module. So it will not feel like you are not writing Angular, which was earlier. So so how to get all these features, right? So just go ahead and run these two commands and you are good to go. So you can just say ng update Angular CLI 8. First, you have to, of course, come to Angular 8 version. Then you can update to Angular 9. And then you can run this command, ng update Angular core and Angular CLI. And that's it. Done. You can also refer this website, which is created by Stephen Fluin. So you can just select which version from update.angular.io. You just need to select the version from which you want to update to which version, and it will guide you the steps. You don't have to do it manually. Remember, you just need to run ng update. But this website mentions all the prerequisite, and in case if there is some steps which goes wrong, right? So you can refer it from here. So it was about Angular 9. I'm sure you have now high expectation from Angular 10 and Angular 11. So let's see what's coming soon. So version 10, its planning is still in progress. I think you will not see a lot of features coming into version 10 because the primary concern is resolving most of the GitHub issues which are available, which Angular team was not able to do or community was not able to do because of Ivy. And then, of course, Ivy related cleanups will be there. View engine is still available. In case you're not aware, you can go ahead and still use view engine. You just have to say enable Ivy equals to false in your tsconfig.json. But in version 11, the team is deciding to remove view engine from the entire code base. So the preparation will start. MDC components. I'm not sure how many people are aware that MDC is a material design component which are available. There is an website called material.io. So the material component and material design components were two different libraries, and material team was not using it. So now they are migrating all their components to MDC components, and which makes it more of native components. So if you in Angular 9, I think they have made a lot of components as MDC components. There are still few components which are pending, but it will be done by version 10. So better CLI defaults. Of course, CLI is something which everyone loves, and there will be improvements in Angular CLI as well. Elements was one of the project which most of the developers are excited about, which lets you create web components in Angular. So I think we can see some updates coming to elements. I'm not sure if anyone is following the private APIs. You have few private APIs called create element, create components. So those APIs, once they are made public, it will make our bundle size less smaller as compared to what we already have. So that's one of the thing which I think will be there. Then version 11, of course, it's not decided. The release dates are like November, December, and the focus areas will be Ivy library support, view engine removal, and unlocking the potential of Ivy, which means making the private APIs public. So now more than 3,000 Angular apps are available as of now, okay, I mean that's it. I mean that's it from my side. So thank you. In case you have any question, you can reach out to me on my Twitter handle, which is Santosh Yadav Dev. You can follow me on GitHub as well. I have few open source projects, and in case anyone wants to contribute, I would love to guide you to help you with your first contribution. So yeah, that's it. In case you have any question, I mean, if we can take it. So that's it, dev. Sorry. So
great, thank you.
Yeah.
This was very informative. So I learned a lot.
Oh,
I learned a lot. Yeah, and yeah, thank you for this. Yeah, as Santosh said, Santosh is right pronunciation, right?
yeah, Santosh is there.
Okay. As Santosh said, you can reach out to him on Twitter and even on GitHub. I guess you can file issues with any questions, I guess.
Yeah.
You can also for sure write questions in the chat John will take care about the chat, and then he will try to forward them to Santosh or ping them. So yeah, if any, yeah, this is John. The John is the Mr. with the beer.
Yeah, I got my beer today. I got my beer here today because Angular Meetup without beer is not Angular Meetup. And I don't have to drive car. So
nice. So
yeah.
let's check how Tobias is.
It should work now.
Excuse me?
It should work now.
Okay. Then the stage is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I hope you can see my screen now.
Yeah, I can see. Oh.
Perfect. So my topic is today Angular at scale, and I will show you a bit of learnings out of our biggest project at Eon, which is Eon Optimum, and how we advanced our code base with these little helpers, and how TypeScript helped us to make a solid application. So obviously I'm not Leo. Leo is unfortunately off sick, and I will step in. So bear with me if I have a little slight hiccup or something else went wrong. So my name is Tobias Brenner. I'm the front-end team lead at Eon Digital Technology, and I'm living in the lovely Hattingen at the Ruhr area. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @StatusLabs, and can send me an email by tobias.brenner@eon.com. And I'm, by the way, founder of the Angular Ruhr Meetup. And we are doing remote meetups also, so stay tuned and join us. So what is the content today? I will quickly go and in the first start to a little context, so you can have a little insight where all the learnings are coming from, and I will show you the project really, and a little showcase. And I will have a little step into sustainable applications and why we all should strain for sustainable applications. Then I will show the code examples, which are immutability, deep tree immutability, typed IDs, and assert unreachable. So first things first, the context. So I will talk about our use case, Eon Optimum. And for those who don't know what Eon is is the biggest European energy supplier. So we have over 70,000 employees and serving energy to more than 40 million customers. So Eon Optimum, I've been a developer for Eon Optimum from the start and dropped out because of my team lead work, I think 1.5 years ago. It's a quite big project, over 100,000 lines of code in the front end. And let's have a look at it. So I will go to this already open tab. So this is what you see when you start up the project, the product. So what is it? It is an energy management system. Basically, we're fetching from smart meters of our customers, thousands and thousands of smart meters, the data, and we'll send it into the cloud, and then have machine learning out of it on it, and do something like analysis. What is the normal behavior of a building? What our outline is? And basically, this thing is allowing the customer then to understand the usage of the energy, where is it coming from, where are the costs coming from, and to help to optimize what he's doing with his energy. So here you can see it's top-based thingy with a dashboard and widgets on it, and you can then switch to different kind of view modes and have influence on what data is seeing. So you can switch to a different month or whatever, or a specific site to show the data from. And then it's about drilling deeper and deeper into our energy data, and you can then see that the widgets are all also reacting on each other. So if you click here, for example, or scroll out of the calendar week where the day is in, it will react on it. And the basic thing what is really interesting about this project is that everything you can see here is completely driven by configuration. What does this mean? The whole UI is rendered by JSON config. So it's from the modules to the dashboards you're seeing and the widgets on it, how they are reacting on each other, where the data is coming from. Is the data direct visualized, or is it abstracted data or generated data? All of that is driven by configuration. And you can imagine it's really complex to build something like that. And that's the reason why we wanted to have it as solid as possible and as explicit in the code base as possible. So we don't want to overwhelm you what all of that is capable of doing. So we have tons and tons of functionality here. So, but this is not the part of the talk. So let's go back into the slide deck. That's enough for the context. Just about how we did all of that. So the front end is obviously built with Angular, currently in version 8, but we will update soon to 9. And it's in the back end a mix out of Scala and Java, and in the last couple of months we used Kotlin as well. And everything is hosted through Docker with Kubernetes in the Google Cloud. And so now we can talk about the why we want to have some sustainable applications. It's about maintainability. If you build such a big application, so you want to have, if possible, that the development is not stuck. I'm hearing something in the background. So can you understand me, or is it just background noise? I don't know.
It was a background noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will just continue. So you want to have a good velocity in the product lifecycle. So often big projects become stuck in the development goes slower and slower. So we want to prevent that, and you want to have a high code quality in it, and it's about onboarding also. So often in big code bases, you have a lot of developers working on it, and there is often fluctuation. So you have to onboard something in a new code base, and we want to have it as solid as possible and to have a good onboarding experience. So solid architecture and as explicit, the code as explicit as possible to make it easy to onboard something new. So how to do that? So we came, while working on this presentation, to the one big headline: let the compiler do the work. So everything we are trying with our code base while developing this big thing is to move the complexity out of the console into the IDE and out of the brain as much as possible, and to let the compiler do the work for us. So often if you do programming as a front-end dev, you're working a lot in the console, and debugging all through, and trying to figure out where the problem is coming from. But with the help of TypeScript and with type extension in your code base, it's possible to shift that into your IDE, which is a lot of faster for the development, and it's just lowering the cognition rate. You have to don't have to think about it so much, and the debugging is also a lot easier. How to do that? So the first thing is how do we get more predictability and to write more explicit code or have less unexpected side effects. Often, if you work with asynchronicity and some state sharing things, it's not so easy to get away these side effects, and and we want to increase our development speed. How can we ensure that? We gained a lot by introducing deep tree immutability. So what is that? I hope everyone is knowing what it is, but here's a little recap. So you can't, immutability is if you have a data structure edited once and said that it's immutable, you can't change it anymore. So it's totally read-only, and you can change properties or do something on it. So this is immutability, and for those of you who are thinking, okay, why not using const or read-only property? This is just a weak immutability. So what means weak immutability? It's just that the first layer of the object is done read-only, and the layers beyond it's just mutable as it was. So we wanted to have that, and at the one hand, deep tree immutability, and at compile time and not runtime. Like if you use something like immutable.js, this is on runtime, and we didn't want to extend our payload, which is sent to the user, and we didn't want to have this on runtime. So because it's costly to check this immutability at runtime, so we wanted to have that in the IDE by the help of the compiler. How we did that is really easy, because it's fitting on one slide. You will see a little code now. So the theoretic part is over, and now a bit of code. So we start with generating a new TypeScript type, which is called immutable, and it's a generic. We pass over this T. And we use at first the condition here to check if this given T is a primitive. And if it's a primitive, we just let it as it is. And we have to then define what is a primitive. So it's an undefined null Boolean string number or function. In our case, in our actual code base, this list is a bit more extended, because we have used little helpers, which I will show you later on. So we will return then and do nothing, because this is already immutable, the T. And if it's not a primitive, we check if it's an array. And if so, we just map this to a deep immutable array and give this U to the deep immutable array. So this is how this is looking, and we just extending the read-only array here and pass over the immutable T. So it's basically passing it over to read-only and ensuring that the type is here, and it's immutable, what we give the read-only array here. The next thing is to check if it's a map thingy, what is coming in as a generic, and we infer the key and the value, and then pass it over to the deep immutable map, like before to the with the array, just now with a map, and pass it over and have the immutable key here at the key and the immutable value as a value. So the real thing is if it's a deep immutable object, and then the magic kicks in. So because of these lines here, if you have a deep immutable object, we have an we take this all keys of the given object and have it with this key in key off. We have a list of every key given in this object and marked as read only, and have a recursive call on the immutable thing and use it again and have a recursive call on it. So we have really deep tree immutability all the way through. So this is all you need to have deep tree immutability in your IDE for your project. What does this gives you? We can quickly show outside of the presentation in the code base. So I've covered here everything we went over right now. So this is exactly what was on the slide. And imagine you have a user interface where you have some properties on, like ID, mail, option with a language thingy in it. So we have a new instance of it, and ID, and everything else is filled. So normally, like ever, you can just use user.option thingy and change the language to DE, for example, so without a hassle, right? So, if we want to have it now immutable, you just type immutable and pass in the type, which is here, still the iUser, just that it's now wrapped with the immutable helper. And now you can't change it anymore. So the language thing is read-only marked. You can't do something wrong. So also you can now take the benefit and enrich your method signatures and have it also more explicit. So what you expect from the function to do. So here, this function takes an iUser and do the modification within the function. And if you want to ensure that nothing is modified within your context of the function, you just can flag it as an immutable thing. And the same for the return stuff. If you have a function which is returning something which should be immutable, you can just use it also as a return type, which is immutable, and off you go. So the next thing, and what helped us a lot, is typed IDs. So imagine you have a function like getUserById, which takes an ID and returns obviously a user. And this function looks basically like that. So it's taking the user ID, which is now a weak typed string. And we have something like a list of users and use the find method on it to look it over and find by criteria the specific user. So, but what if all your IDs are UUIDs and everything is a string, basically? You can easily do errors and have something like, oh, well, what the fuck? Every time I call this function, I get undefined, but it should work, right? I have that. This was, the case was that I passed in an order ID without knowing it and not a user ID. And the TypeScript compiler couldn't help me because it's totally valid. It's a string, right? It's a user ID, but not a matching one because an order ID is not matching a user ID. Bam. So how can you deal with that and have it more explicitly typed? So this is easy because we can do something like that. We can say, okay, we have a new interface, which is called TUserID, which is extending a basic string, right? So for now, this is empty, this interface, but an empty interface, regardless how you name it, is equal to another empty interface. And so we have to do a little trick here and include something like user ID. This is just a naming convention from us, so you can name it what you want, and just flag it as never. So it's not used to be used. So we flag it explicitly as never, so you can't set or exit it while working with this. So we just included that to have a discriminator from one interface for these kind of ID types to another one. If you have, for example, T customer ID also in the same way. Okay, so how can we now benefit from that? So we have to code some helpers also to have out of a normal string it modified to the type version from it. So if you have a string in your hand, you have this little helper to do a well-typed thing out of it. And this is everything you need to get it working. And it works like that. So, for example, we have now these two IDs here, the T user ID and T order ID, and these little helpers to cast it. So now this is a normal string, right? So we use now the as user ID to have it explicitly typed as the user and order ID. Normally, you use in your object creations the type in your object. So this is only if you have to map it because you have in your hands the bare bones string. So normally you have something like interface something. And you just use the thing like that. So normally you are not often use these helpers. So just in the case you're asking yourself why. So now the IDE understands that this is the specific type, and it can help you out. So if we change here to this user ID and pass in get user ID, the order ID, it's yelling because it now understands that the T order ID is not assignable to the T user ID, and you're safe with all of that. This helps extremely if you have a long signature where you pass a lot of things into. Remember that everything we had in our application was driven by configuration and something, and often we have signatures where you have to pass in the customer ID, the module ID, the dashboard ID, the widget ID, all in one signature. And before we had included that little trick here, we had it all type string, and you can really easy mess this up by doing refactorings and and just switching the order in your arguments, and something is not working out. So this helped us extremely by doing it more explicit. So next thing. So you're never confused again with IDs. Next thing is asset unreachable, which is even smaller code snippet, but really awesome. Imagine that you have something like an export status, which is in really easy case here, 2 states, successful and failed. And you have something like a switch case over this enumeration, and you have 2 cases. And it's not that it stays like that. Often you have refactorings, and a lot of more states are coming. And what about all the code snippets in your code base? They are not handling this specific new case, right? So you have to search it all over. And often we see something in the code base like a default statement, which is in this case called. But not every time this is meaningful, because you have often the scenario that every case which is coming in has to be handled properly, and a default statement is not the proper thing to do, because you have to handle it explicitly. And in this case, we can now use our asset unreachable function, which is just taking this enumeration thing into it. And how does this function look like? So this is really easy. It's a function called asset unreachable. It takes never, it takes an argument flagged with never, and it's returning never. And if it's called somehow, you throw an arrow and say, okay, asset unreachable is called with this value, and off you go. So this is everything you need to have this feature in your code base. What is this giving you? If you have this now in your code base, you get this this little error message now from your TypeScript compiler. You're yelling about that this pending thing is not assignable to never, because now the runtime check from the TypeScript compiler is figuring out that not every case is handled, and this code now is reachable. So the control flow check knows about that this code can be evaluated, and it's then checking, oh, it shouldn't be. It's typed with never and returning never. It's a bug now, and if you have refactorings like that and changing enumerations, all your code parts not handling new status will now yell in the console, and you can just step over these parts, and instead of just searching for every use case of the export status enumeration, which can be a pain in the ass, right? Okay. We talked about that, and we increased with that the extendability. We have more robust code out of this explicit code base, and you probably figured out we are a fan of explicit code. We currently thinking over having it by the TypeScript compiler even more, so we exclude null and undefined values out of the normal type declarations. We're planning for doing that, having it even more strict. Then we have more confidence out of that, because the TypeScript compiler is helping us so awesomely. We know that we fucked up before shipping our product. And yeah, that's basically it. And we gained sustainable applications with that. And we, the content of this whole thing was, okay, I showed you immutability, type IDs, the asset unreachable. And often if you show code, everyone is asking afterwards, oh, can I have that? Yeah, you can. All code is available on GitHub. You can check it out. Feel free to contribute. A lot of that is documented also, but if you find issues or want to contribute, yeah, feel free to make a pull request. And yeah, remember, let the compiler do the work, and you can get in touch with me by Twitter or sending me an email, and that's it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's amazing to see the code base of the stuff you told me about. Yeah, great. Now let me just. So I unmuted me. Yeah, you can hear me. I hope. Okay. Next, the last talk for today is mine. And yeah, wait. Let me just share my screen.
I was waiting for that one.
You was waiting?
Yeah, I need to know more about Cypress.
Okay, and about testing for all this. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me share my screen and go. Okay, and then let me adjust this. Okay. Just has to give access to one of the people in one of the attendee in the waiting line in the queue. Okay, so I did. great. So let me, is it possible to just, okay, this one. I have to figure out all this stuff here. Okay, great. Yeah, I want to talk about Cypress. Yeah, as you can see. And yeah, I will talk about first about the most important thing about me. Sorry for this. Then I want to try to explain to you what is Cypress and how what do you using it for, and then I want to show you how to use it. So this is a possibility and opportunity for a bunch of typos, because I will do a lot of live coding, just a few slides and then live coding, and maybe everything will burn down and will break together, and then we will see what it is. Let's see. Okay, this is me. Yeah. The only thing which is very important is my handle. My handle on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter is the same. It's webdave_de. You can reach out to me if you have any questions. Even if you're stuck in a project and you need a push in the right direction, then you can ping me. My DMs are open on Twitter. I don't solve your problems, okay? I don't do your work, but I can help to push in the right direction, give hints. If you want me to solve your problems, then you can pay me. So this is also possible because I'm a freelancer. Yeah, and then one of my principles of my life is community rocks. Maybe you recognize that I'm one of the hosts of these awesome meetups. This is the Angular-Hamburg meetup, but I'm also active in the German community in Angular.DE, which is the upper left corner, this icon. And then we see the, then I'm a team member of NGDE, which is coming up with very important information about NGDE 2020 in the next few hours or days. So we have a meeting right now, but there was a conflict. So I'm here and not in this meeting, so they have to decide without me, which is totally fine because I'm not that important. I'm just one of the just a team member. Yeah, and then I'm also active in Swiss Angular and in Austria, which is Angular colleague, which is the Austrian community. And of course, I'm a Google Developer Expert, which I'm very proud of because I didn't expect this. And yeah, this is something very amazing. And I'm rocking also. So no sound, but moving picture. So that's it. No jokes for the day. I'm doing workshops and doing workshop with this platform called Workshops.DE, and I do a workshop next week. It's a 5-day workshop. Doesn't mean 5-day full time. We do 5 days, but from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So 3 hours. You can book your seat. We have a special discount code, stay at home. The workshop will be in German. So if you are interested in a workshop in English, then you should also reach out to us and ask for this. And there's a raffle on Twitter about this workshop. We're giving 1 free ticket away. So just search for Workshops.de on Twitter and find the tweet. It just came around a few hours ago, and then you can try to get this free ticket. So this is how you can make the most of out of this quarantine and stay at home time. Okay, and this talk is based on my blog post, which is you can find at this URL webdave.de/blog/Cypress. And I wouldn't be able to make this just confused by the chat. Wouldn't be able to make this possible without the help of the community. And one of the smartest and nicest guy in the community is this guy, Gleb. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his first name is Gleb, and he is one of the team member of Cypress. And I, whenever I have a question, then I ask for this, and I get really quick help. So if you have any questions about Cypress, find him on Twitter. I don't want to start a witch hunt or like this. Don't hunt him. Don't. No, he said he wants to help the community, and so I spread the word about this. So if you have any questions, reach out to me or reach out to the master of Cypress, and this is Gleb. Okay. So this is the introduction. What is Cypress? This is very important, this question. Cypress is just a E2E testing tool. Yeah, you can do E2E tests. It's an Electron client with an Electron client UI, and it works like a proxy. Your application you want to test is running inside of this client, and this Cypress client is intercepting the complete traffic which is going from the application to your backend. Yeah, so there is no way you can miss any of the requests. That's it. But what is E2E? Just to get everyone on the same side. E2E just means end-to-end testing. Yeah, this is just the way you would test as a user. If you maybe you know this from your time of school, or when someone said, okay, can you try out my application and do some testing, then this is what is end-to-end testing. You can test like a user. You can test complete user stories or user journeys. So as a user, I want to be able to log in and buy some ticket, for example, whatever it is. Yeah, and you can test exactly this. This is not just to take one special piece out of your application and test this piece of your application like a component. This would be then the unit test. Yeah. So end-to-end test means we test from the front end, the user, until to the back end and the way back. And we can test all the communication and the interaction and complete user stories. That is unit testing. Okay, but how to integrate this? As we all, maybe all of you know, or many of you know, in Angular there is some unit testing and some end-to-end testing in it. The end-to-end testing is done by Protractor, and Protractor is well known for weak DX. DX means developer experience. It works, you can test, it works very well, but sometimes it's hard to debug, and it's a shitty developer experience because you can't interact with it with this tool as you want. And this is where the benefits of this Cypress is. You can interact with this in many ways. You can, I will show it. First of all, we need to replace Protractor in your Angular application. Therefore, we can use a schematic. So this means, schematic means you can use it since the version Angular, I guess is 6 that this schematics works. Schematics are introduced in Angular since version 6, and the pre-bug schematic for the Cypress is, I guess, from version 6 or 7. So since this, you can just run this command, and then the schematic will replace everything which is regarding and referring to Protractor, and will replace it by Cypress stuff. That's it. So the schematic is nothing else, just like the installation guide, but it's totally automated. And then you can run it. ng E2E. By the way, this is my first typo I see here. It's run t test. Oh yeah. So ng E2E. This is how you run it. Then the CLI will check it. Will check the Angular JSON and will find the test runner for Cypress and will run then your Cypress tests. On the first one, Cypress sets up some configs and some file structure. This is the file structure which will then set up. It's just a Cypress folder which holds some other folders where you can put in stuff. Let me short explain. In the fixtures folder, you can add your dummy data. For example, if you say we want to have some user data, and we will have them, or we will have some dummy data, so we don't have to run against the backend, or there is no backend, whatever. Then you can put it in the fixtures. Integrations, I just forgot it. I will come later to it when I get it again. Oh, integrations, these are the tests. Oh, wait. Okay. And plugins, there you can write plugins. You can replace plugins. For example, you can write plugins or use plugins for to test some kind of any kinds of logins. There is a number of logins you can use for this. And you can test it. You can test other stuff. There's a huge list of plugins on the website of Cypress.io, where you can search for some keywords and you find plugins and how to use them. And support then in this, you can add some other functionalities you want to use. This is some kind of plugins, but a bit smaller bundle size. You can write own functionalities in this. Okay, that's it. So let me just switch over to my code. I said I will have only a few. Is this my? Yeah, this is my project. Yeah, I will only have a few of my slides. This is my project. This is nothing special. This is let me just show you what it is. Ng-serve. This is just an Angular 0.3, as you can see, version of the initial app I created a few weeks ago. And this is nothing special. You will maybe recognize it very well from this. I have to this one. Oh. And oh, come on, I mistyped the URL. Unbelievable. So that's it. That's the application we just created. Yeah, this is Cypress test. It's the name of my repository. And we have kind of terminal display changed and shows how we can do this stuff. Okay, let me just minimize this. So that's it. Nothing special. When we I did already the schematic. I'll run already the schematics. I can just quick show you the stuff, but it's not that important. Here is the Cypress run and the configuration for this. So if you want to read more, know more about this, go to my my blog post, and you can read it, and you can copy and paste the code, and this is very easy. Let me just show you how we can. Oh wait, this is this one. How you can run the test. So ng e2e. That's it. We could also go for npm run e2e, but this is very easy because here is the script assigned to this. Okay. Just have to move the control bar. Okay. So now this is doing almost the same. It runs an ng-serve, and then it runs the Cypress client. It kicks off the Cypress client. Means I should see the Cypress client in a few seconds here in on one of my monitors. We are waiting for this. The Cypress folder is already there, so there's nothing special, and there are more or less not that special stuff in, just some comments and some information about this. And here are the integrations. These are the tests where we do write the test in a few seconds. Okay, then we have our Cypress UI. This is the Cypress UI. This is the control panel of your Cypress. By the way, you can run Cypress in the CI. There is a tutorial on the website on Cypress.io, which says how you can run it in the CI. So this is nothing you have to do on your machine. You can run it in the CI. Nothing special. There is an update available. This is strange. I don't mind. So this is the control panel. We have here the possibility to switch between the major browsers. Means we can switch from Chrome to Firefox to Edge. The new Edge is available, and you can run it as an Electron. Yeah, this is obviously because this here is an Electron app, so why not? I stick to Chrome. So it just means it runs with the Chrome engine. Then here in the integrations list, this here will show us all the specs we will see here. Okay. If we have multiple spec files, we will see them here, and then we can click on one of them, and then we will run one single file. Or we can just hit this one, run all specs, and then we'll collect all the spec files and we'll run the test. This is the Cypress UI client. Yeah, Cypress UI client. These are the words Gleb told me. You can see this is the application. Yeah, this is the browser URL bar, the location bar, and we have here some sections. The UI client is separated in three parts. First of all, this here, the part here, until here, this one. This is the output part. So I name it so. It's the output. Here you can see the results and the stuff. So like you would say, the reporter. Here you can see there is an error. It says replace with something relevant. So this sounds like a must failure. Then we have here our playground and the URL bar. Playground means we can click here on stuff, and then we can type in here and try out some CSS selectors to find stuff. For example, we could say, let's check for btn. Oh, there's now no element which is a button. So we have no TypeScript, no bootstrap, which is obviously. Then we have here selector. We can just go to this and select something, and then we find, it will say, okay, this is the selector for this. So if you want to write tests after you have, or if you don't, if you decide to write end-to-end tests, and while developing this application, you didn't thought about to write tests, then maybe you want to go with this kind of the way to get the elements. If you know that you want to go and you will write end-to-end tests, then you have to think about how can I access this element during the end-to-end test. Means you have to think about unique names, IDs, classes, paths, how you can get these elements. That's it. Okay, let me just hide this. And this here is then the presentation panel where I can see the output of the application. So this is first things. Then here, this is the test. It says there is a timeout because the expected find content expected to find this content, but it have never happened because he was looking for replacement with something relevant. And if we look at this, there is no such strings here. Let's just share. Let's jump over to this. So this is a test. If you have written some unit test, then maybe you will recognize this. We have the same syntax. We have an it, and then we can also have before each, and we can have before all, and after each, and after all. We can all this structured syntax we can use because this is the same syntax. Then the first thing we have to do, which is very, very important, is we have to visit. Visit means go to this website. Yeah, Cypress, visit this website. This is the website. If we not this one, if we comment this out, then we can see that there is nothing. Yeah? And here it says, hey, start up a server. This maybe could be a good point. Yeah, just a small hint. And contains means take a look on this screen and find this. Yeah, we could also say not a text. We could say it should contain dot button, or no, a button. A button, for example. Maybe this could already be a good test. Oh, no button here. Okay. I just lost my. Just hop over to my hints. Okay. So the wizard is the very first thing you want to do. What you also can do, you can just go and find, and then you can use some stuff. Let's just take a look in the code how this looked like. Application, and here is this, and we can see there is this is the terminal, and then we have here some build values, and we have the material icon and add dependency. So we can take a look at card and card small, this kind of stuff. If we want to go there and check this, we can say, okay, let's dot card. And the UI client tells us where he finds all this stuff which are matched like this. Okay, means we have 10 elements with the class card. And let's check for card small. Oh, there's a dash. I should here. Yeah, it says okay. Now we have we still have 7 elements which match these. Okay, so this is something we can do easily, and we can find stuff in there. Okay, just check the list. Okay, okay. Next on, I want to test if someone opens up this beautiful application. I spent a lot of time at. No, I didn't, but in case of, yeah. I want to check that maybe it says, hey, Cypress app is running, for example. Okay, this is something we want to find. And let's go to our spec. So this is okay. The Cypress has a very cool feature. It's totally typed, and you get a lot of intelligence from this. So you can say, okay, get me something. For example, get means I can get select an element, DOM element. Yeah, this get means we can select a DOM element and do stuff with it. And the intelligence is very good. So it says, okay, we can select and then give an object or give just an whatever it means. Yeah, you can do the normal and the well-known selectors. We want to go and find, for example, what would you find? Oh yeah, this one, a span. Okay. We want to find a span because let me just jump here. We say span. If we say get span, then we should find the first span. We can also say, okay, get a span, and now we can say, okay, one of these spans should contain this kind of text. Means we can say, okay, find a span, and then contains. And then we can say, okay, we want to find a Cypress test. Was it right? Like this. and just a screen. So because he said he found it. So now let me show you and explain you how this here works. The reporter says these are the steps I run during the test. Means, let me just close this. Okay. We said, okay, visit and then get a span and should contain this. So visit, find a span, and one of these should contain this. So we can hover over this and we can then find the element which was found in the during the testing. What we also can do is we can just say okay and click. And now you can see there is a red dot over there. There's a red dot. So it says go get, which this contain, and then click on it. So this contains works also like a selector. We can say get all the spans, find this one with Cypress test, and then click on it. So then nothing happens here, but it's okay. And if you hover over something of this, then you can take a note of this area down here. You can see that it's toggling the DOM snapshot, because it takes every time when there is an interaction, it takes a DOM snapshot and saves it. And then if you're hovering over some of these actions, then it shows you what happens before and after this. So here, there is no interaction. So this one. So if we would now open up an element or add some stuff to this, then we should see some kind of new data in this. So that is what we can do here. But very important, I want to manage my tests. I'm sure that you all know the syntax of this, and if not, then I will explain. So describe is the biggest way to group testing code. Okay, means we open up a test suite. It's called like this, and then we can say, okay, this is my test suite, and inside of this test suite we have this kind of tests, and then we can group them together as for one topic. And the test suite works like this. First element is first takes 2 parameters. Wait, what is it? Describe and say okay. And the first parameter is a name. First suite. And the second is then just the animus function to run the test in. Okay, means just like this. And then we have to move this inside of this. Means now we can check here and we see, okay, load example tests. And this is the first suite. Okay, we can name it and we can group it, and then we can just collapse them, because hopefully you have more than one test. Yeah, so this is just to make it way more accessible and way more readable for you. And another very important thing is that you can do, if you have a describe, then you can use this pre-fly and rollback mechanism, which you can use by writing before each and before all, after each and after all. So if, for example, we can say a before each. We want to do what? We want to go and put this here, and then we want to visit. Okay. So before it, we visit the website, and then we do this. So this, because we want to run more than one of these tests. So this is more or less everything you can do with this. No, there's some still something more. You can, for example, if we just extend our this here, and let me just find a place where you want to put it here. Next step here, this. Okay, let's just Angular block here. Just here, I want to add an input. Okay, input type text is okay, and I want to add it a class. Oh, yo. Okay, class, and we name it. Oh wait, for all the German guys here, and now we can test this here. We can, for example, if you want to test an form or something like this, you can check the classes of this. You can get the element of this, and you can check what kind of attribute it has. And in our case, I just want to show you how you can type into an input field, and it is damn easy. Yeah, it's more or less a no-brainer. Let me just input and just get the input. We could also say hoods or only this, and then we can say, okay, we want to type, and then we can type in strings or numbers. I want to type here hi Hamburg and Corona sucks. I hope you agree. So now we can see what happens here. Input is here, and here it is typed in this input field just by this. You can see. Now you can see the changes by toggling the snapshot. Before, this was empty. After it, there is the text in it. So, and this is how you can check how you can fill up a form and check then this stuff. Let me just show you one thing, which is For sure, you can also do some assumption, yeah, like get this and it should be whatever. For example, you can say you just copy this line because of the possibility of typos, and should means this takes an matcher string, or a chainer, and you can say, for example, not. Oh wait, this is wrong. It should be this. And as you can see, this is typed. This is exactly what Tobias just talked about. This is strong typed strings you can put in this. You can say, okay, the input field should be should not be or should be filled. No, should be dot. I'm not sure what kind of this. Not be empty, like this. Is this? And then this is, for example, the one of the easiest tests to just check. Okay, this should not be empty. But this is.
मधुमक्खी है चल अंदर चल अंदर चल तू अंदर चल ना जल्दी से बेड झाड़ना पड़ेगा डियर
Can you just mute yourself, Sarvesh?
तो क्या करूं मैं
Someone who has access. I don't have. Yeah, I think it's sorted now. You can start.
sorry.
Okay, I can't mute him.
Okay. Sarvesh, you there? Can you just mute yourself?
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go on. not be empty. So this, I'm not sure if this the same. If this, let me just get some help. Not be. So no, this is okay. So after this, this should not be empty. So, okay. So means now we have this input field. We typed in stuff, and then this should not be empty anymore. Expected not be empty. Not to be empty, but it isn't empty, right? Ah! What does it mean? Okay. Okay. Sometimes I'm also a bit confused by this, but okay, I'm fine with it. Okay, what else can we do? We can check for stuff. Yeah, should contain. You also heard about this. The contain. You can also say should contain, and then you can add the value you assume to find, like hi. Yeah, and this should be a green. Oh wait, is there no? Oh wait, he's checking for the next one. Type it and then find it. Type, yeah, and then find. Ah, I messed it up. Everything. As I mentioned before, there is a possibility to, so, okay. Just to be sure that there's a chat, is there a hint? Should have value. Oh yeah. Thank you, Maya. I try it. Should have like this. Let's check if it works. Oh, it's green. Thank you. Credits to Maya. Okay, a big screen, but I wasn't able to see. So this almost is everything you need to know about Cypress. Yeah, you can for sure. It's okay to, and it's very great to find the documentation of Cypress. Yeah, Cypress IO documentation, and then you can search for matchers and all this stuff. Yeah, go there and definitely go and check my my blog post. I can't type. Webdev.de. This one. And then you can find way more information about this. And now don't forget this this raffle that you can find. You can win a free ticket for the workshop next week. So if you're interested in, and that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this format of being connected in this Corona quarantine time, and I hope the technology worked well. For me, it looks like this. We at the peak we have been about 60 attendees here, which is great. So I thank you everyone for joining, and spread the word about this. And I hope you stay safe and healthy. And I hope to see a lot of you in a few months on any meetup or in real time on projects, meetups, conferences, whatever, real life, just to grab a beer or a coffee and have some chat. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Again, special thanks to Tobias for jumping in the last minute. So it was about half an hour before the talk started. I received this information. Thanks for this, and thanks Santosh for your awesome talk about Angular 9. And I hope you enjoyed it. Reach out to us if you have any questions. Reach out to us if you want to be on our side and want to give a talk. If you have an interesting topic or if you have a big question you want to talk about and need help, even these talks are great for this. You can just say, hey, I found this and this is my idea, but I stuck here. Who can help? And we can do some kind of hackathon, whatever. So just to get together and to connect each other and build this community again up in Hamburg. I know last year was a bit weak because of last year, but this time we have way more time.
And thanks a lot for organizing again, Dave, and thanks a lot for your talk. I was especially waiting for Cypress, as I do something with Cypress at the moment. I don't do Angular anymore that much. And yeah, it's hard to have some social get together now, but should we try something? So if you're still there, you can unmute yourself, and maybe Santosh wants to say something more.
Just about tomorrow's talk. So I'm talking about Angular builders at NG Heidelberg. I'm sure you know Johannes. So he's the organizer. So in case you want to learn about Angular builders, you can join me tomorrow. And in 2 weeks, we also have JS VidCon, which is happening, and it's again a live event organized. And we have a lot of speakers from Google team, from Angular team, from Microsoft, and there are like 80 talks. So you can just visit JS VidCon and book your tickets. They have 4 tracks, different tracks like Angular, React, Vue, and I think I have JavaScript as well. So if you want to just listen to those amazing speakers there, you can also buy a ticket. I'm talking about again builders and schematics. So hope to see you, many of you there as well. Yeah.
Sounds good. And I would like to receive some more feedback of, I would like to know who's there. So maybe some of the other guys is going to unmute and share his video and say, yeah, post to have another beer. And it's still open for questions. So I need at least 3 people.
I can see a lot of...
yeah, who's usually on our Angular meetup on stage in Hamburg?
So I know a few people from here. So Amit is there, Dave, Ashish, in case you want to talk something. I mean,
yeah.
I saw Sen, Alexander, so in case any one of you.
So anyone feels free to talk, even like let your children cry again.
Okay, I can try.
Yeah.
Mary from Hamburg. Actually, I can't remember, to be honest. Yes, it was last year. I attended the one of the NG meetups in Hamburg. It was at Berliner Tor. I don't know, Dave, if you remember it, but Robin was also there. Yeah, just to say hello. Cypress is also interested for me because we are actually using it in terms of Nuxt. So I think it's common to use it with Nuxt in Vue.js. I'm not sure, but for us, we are working with Cypress since July 2019. Yeah, so a little bit experience I'm in. And I must say I love it, especially for the support of having screenshots and even videos.
Oh, I didn't mention this. Oh yeah, thank you. We just had it. I was working with a customer today, and we took a lot of screenshots and error videos, and yeah, it was very helpful. So for all of you who don't know Cypress takes a video if you run it in a CI, and it runs a screenshot on every issues and every error. and you can by script say, now I want to take a screenshot.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Mary.
Yeah, same. Same to you. Yeah.
So nobody else there? Yeah.
I have a question. Hi, everyone. First of all,
Hi.
I want to thank you for this great session, as it has been really useful. And I have a question for Dave. I try to implement all sorts of unit tests and end-to-end tests to my projects, and I'm curious. Well, this project that you showed us is a demo and it's simple, but I'm curious on how do you interact with waiting action? Like you click on a button and wait for a response from an API.
Okay. This is something I didn't cover in this talk, but I can show you if you want. I can show you some code snippets.
Sure.
For this, you use something called the router. Wait, let me just. Is this one? This? Oh yeah, this is here. I just have to anonymize the URL, and then I will share my my screen. And this one is. Okay. Okay, I share my screen and show you what you can do here. This one. Okay, can you see my IDE? Yeah, no? You can, first of all, you have to start a server. Server means it starts up a plugin which intercepts every HTTP requests in the background, okay? And then you can define on this server, you can define routes or URLs and say, okay, if this is called, then please answer with this, for example. Or you just define a route without answering. Yeah? This means you can also, this here is just this case where you say, if someone is calling this URL, then I want to answer with this fixture with my dummy data. But you can also say, okay, if you find this, I just do this and then you can say, okay, I want to save this URL in an alias. As you can see here, but I do it here as, .s, and then you can say, okay, save this this URL. This it's kind of a spy. Yeah, you can say spy for this URL call or this HTTP call, and you can say, okay, I save this for my call, for example, and then you can whenever. Let's just search for this. On any case, you can say, okay, wait for this call with this get. You don't with get. You can not only get the DOM elements. You can also get these routes. It's okay. Get these routes, and then you can say, okay, when the body is it's a request body, then it should be equal this one. Or you can say, okay, when this is then when it's there, then we want to interact with it. For example, oh yeah, here. Yeah, for example, this get this URL call, and then from this here you can then interact with the response of this. Yeah, you have here the stuff. And do you have any example of this? This request by deep call. No? I'm not sure. I was pretty sure that I have an example where I have shoot a request body, and then you can compare the request body. Okay, So just check this
Thanks
chat.
a lot. It covers my question.
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
these alias, you can use these alias for everything, for routes and for elements. If you have an element you have to interact very often, then you just say, okay, I take this DOM element and save it in this alias, and then I can just say get this, and this just means this is a variable where I have saved something in. Get this variable with the name my call. And if you use it, then you just say ci.get. Oh, wait. It kills me. And then you have to go with the @ sign. This is the prefix which says Cypress, hey, I need a variable which you just set up. This is my call. And then you can do whatever you want with this call and with this stuff. Yeah, nice that it was helpful. Let me just stop my...
Helpful indeed. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Any questions left?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I get today's got a task to upgrade my Angular application to the Angular 9, and I show the video of Santosh, which has motivated me to do the stuff. So thanks, Santosh.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Deepu.
It's great.
Okay, hi guys. I have a question going to Santosh, if it's okay.
Yeah.
I read your comment from the chat that you mentioned Cypress could be used for unit testing too. Do you really recommend this, or is it just okay to reduce the zoo of tools you use?
I mean, it can be used. If you are fine with it, you can go ahead and do that. But you can actually write unit tests and E2E both. So if you want to reduce the workload, I mean, you can go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not recommend, I mean, of course. So, but it's possible.
Okay.
One of the features of Cypress.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Dave, it's up to you to talk to Stefan about, or just leave it as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, are there any questions left?
Okay. So
not a question, but I just wanted to say thanks for doing this. I live in the USA and in Denver, Colorado, and run the Rocky Mountain Angular meetup here. And next week I'll be doing my first online meetup. So I just wanted to see how you guys do things. And these were great talks today. Thank you.
Thank you. So if you need any, if you have any questions about technologies also, we would love to help or share some insights or some learnings. So this was my first online meetup, but I took a lot of information from these guys from Angular.DE, and from the Angular guys, which have done at least 2 or 3 online meetups, and it helped me a lot.
Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. So if there are no questions left, then thank you for joining. Thank you for staying that long, and see you maybe in a few weeks, months for next meetup or in real life. And I would love if you see me in real life, I would love if you come to me and introduce me to and if you introduce yourself to me, that I know who I'm talking about, and that I know, okay, this is the join between the real life and the virtual world.
Hope we get to meet soon.
Yeah. Okay. Then have a nice evening. Stay safe and healthy, and see you maybe next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.